Hey everybody, Cam K here with you. Following Autumn Colors Classic, we are at the end of the 2025 racing season here on GeForce TV. I want to thank everybody that is tuning in tonight. Great start to the night. Lots of people tuning in to start. Happy Thanksgiving. I just want to say I'm a little bummed I wasn't there this weekend. Just been dealing with unfortunate illness again, which I typically get around this time, and just makes it very uncomfortable to be out at the racetrack. So hopefully we'll work on that and get that fixed up in time. But we're already working on our winter beard, and we're ready to get going on this episode. We've got Phil Givens, who's going to be on the show first, winner of the Bone Stock Autumn Colors Classic event and an amazing finish with Joe Lawrence. Landon Sellers, who picked up the Autumn Colors Classic and the Ontario Bandoleros, and we believe is the 2025 champion as well. They have not officially posted anything on the Ontario Bandoleros site yet, so we'll get confirmation with him on that. Doug Butler finally getting that return to Autumn Colors Victory Lane. He's going to be on at 8:50, and then one of the best stories of the entire weekend, Amanda Balson. It doesn't end the way I think that anybody was hoping, and I don't think the way that she was hoping, but the story that comes out of this is just one of the best things that you could ever hear about in racing. And then we're going to have Sam Moore on to join us. Morgan's unfortunately not going to be able to join us tonight, so we'll have Sam Moore to talk about Shenanigans Motorsports, their season. They did a big draw earlier today or yesterday, I think it was, and maybe it was today actually. And for a giveaway, lots of cool stuff. The partner work that they do with their program is unbelievable. But I want to know from Sam kind of how this first season for Ontario Bandoleros went, and especially because he is part of the first group of Bandolero owners. So I want to talk with him about that season, and then also hear about how Morgan's season went on the junior late side, and where things might be headed for them. It was Shenanigans Motorsports in 2026, especially with the unknown of Sunset Speedway. I want to thank Larissa Cave, who put me in contact and got this beautiful Flamborough Speedway sweater. It is nice and warm and toasty. It's nice and long for us big fellows, and we're ready to go here. So why don't we open up the show by bringing in the winner. I think it's his third win in the last 5 years, perhaps something crazy like that, and he got it done. He got it done and had his daughter in victory lane celebrating with him. And I know it was an emotional one for him because I don't really know if Phil's planning on actually retiring or semi-retiring. He's been saying a lot of stuff, but he looked pretty damn good yesterday, Phil. You know what? It didn't look like you were going to be able to hold on, frankly, because Joe Lawrence ran you down, and you guys had a similar finish to this last year, but it was a heat race, and you did one better this year by even having a closer finish, clean finish, but you got the victory. How does it feel the day after?
Uh, hasn't really sunk in yet. I'm tired today. It's been a long weekend, very long weekend. But uh, you're racing with Joe, right? Like we didn't touch like last year. We never hit each other, never touched. Same with this year. So um, I'm very, very lucky. I got him. One more lap, and he would have got me. So I'm very humbled to win three. But this year really had to work for it. But you know, got a lot of help behind me, and yeah.
Let's talk about the trophy because someone posted on social media what happened with the trophy, and I'm really thankful that you're part of SNS because that's the type of sportsmanship that I like to see. So, what happened with the trophy?
Yeah. So Nick Clark, I bought the car actually off Nick Clark in 2015 for $700, I think it was. And between Nick and his family, Bill, Debbie, because obviously Bill's always in the shop working on stuff, so you got to thank Debbie too. But Andrea, they've always been there to support me. If it's a late night, thing that breaks on a Friday night before a big show, Nick's always in the shop helping get this thing going. And you know what? He's put in so much work. I've won a lot of trophies. Nick's won a lot of trophies over the years, but I just really wanted to repay him and give him that one for the shop. And he does so much hard work for me, and even for any car I've ever owned, he's always been there to help out that family. So we, yeah, he's lucky enough to have it on his shelf. If you know, I try to give away as many trophies as I possibly can. I've gave a ton away to kids and stuff, but I knew Nick would be pretty happy with that one.
I think Calvin Reeser's saying you just ran out of room. That's the real reality is you got to make room for the kid, right? You can't be taking up all the room with trophies.
Yeah, I think it's the second autumn colors leaf I still have displayed. But other than that, for all my other trophies are pretty much put away or gone. And I have my autumn colors trophies from last year sitting in the trailer still. My velocity one is still sitting there, or the last dance, I guess, for third. I just I don't know. They're trophies to me. I like to give them away. Sometimes it might make a kid want to race, right?
Yeah, I mean it's all about that experience, and you got a full experience under your belt this year. You did a lot of tech. You didn't do a ton of racing. When you did go out, you did win. You won the 50 lap invitational at Peterborough Speedway earlier this year in an amazing battle with Nick Ramsey, and then this one with Joe. I mean, you haven't really gone out there and dominated and flown away from the field like we've seen in the past, but is the field getting more and more competitive? I mean, you and Joe looked like you guys put on a pretty big clinic the entire race yesterday, and it seems kind of untouchable for everybody else.
Yeah, like we I don't know, Joe and I, we always bounce ideas off each other too. And Joe's been a huge help for me too, setup wise. And we always, hey, what's your car doing? What's my car doing? We like to be the fastest ones that we can be, like at the track. And um, it's just it's tough to say. Like teching teching this year made me rusty. I made a lot of mistakes at Gold Rush. I finished 10th, I think. It was
Yep.
horrible. And then I had to shake the rust off for some of these playoff races. And luckily, I was in the right mindset. And, Sunset got lucky, 7th to 3rd after Tech. And the last dance there, Frosttoberfest, that mishap on the last lap, I went from 5th to 2nd. So I wouldn't say the rust isn't there. It definitely is. And I also got to do the ringer race, right? And I had a really good race in Savannah Finley's car. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. And it was nice to get a little more rust off.
I mean, it's clear what we've seen in these playoff races is that Sauble Speedway came to play this year. You guys obviously, you led the charge. You had Savannah out there. Stoyanovsky had a couple of wins out there. The CGC boys worked out. Nicole Givens says you're washed up. You know, kind of expect that right about now, but um, you've got to have the moment with your daughter in victory lane. And I can't imagine as a parent, man, that's 2 years in a row that you got to do that. So, and Clinton Jeffrey mentioned it on the broadcast that you got to do it last year as well. And she was even waving to the camera while you were in victory lane. That's got to be amazing.
Yeah, if you actually, there's some pictures going around I seen tonight. I've been practicing with her, putting the one finger
The
up
one
as
up.
number one, and she actually did it. So I was kind of shocked, but to have her there and up on the car, it was a fantastic feeling. And then when she started waving, like, yeah, it was. I didn't think she was gonna. She looked pretty shy, but she started. So
Future generations of racers, Nicole. There you go. She's the next one in line. You guys have both done it, and Matt Young says, "Love you, Phil." Of course he would, right? There's no not loving Matt Young, right, buddy?
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Matt, he's put me in his car this year too, right? And I got to have some fun there, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I've been getting pictures and everything all day of Oakland and I in Victory Lane up on the car, and I got one from Gary McLean that was just like, man, this is what it's all about, having the kids there, and I'm glad. Hopefully, she remembers a little bit, but she's probably pretty young to remember, so maybe I have to do it one more time.
You've been teasing that for a while, like we're gonna I'm gonna be done with this. You can't give this car up, man. This is what number of win is this now? Because you got two this year with this car. it's got to be well over. You were batting like over 100 with this, so
Well, the car's got over 100. I think with the two this year, that should put me at 89 or 90. And Nick Clark's got, well, he's got a handful of them too. So in that car, so yeah, as I said, the trophies were kind of racking up. I think I still have a tub in the back room that's got a whole bunch in there, but um, it's just I'm getting, the older you get, the more you kind of realize, and you got to settle down a little bit. And I'm tired. I'm exhausted. You don't realize how hard it is to work at a speedway every Saturday.
yeah.
And I'm a sucker for punishment because I was helping Clinton Jeffrey down at Oshwegan this year towards the end of the year, and I enjoyed it. Our car count grew at Sauble, which that's the only thing I wanted to see was if it's a fair, equal playing field, cars will come. And hopefully Brad and I can announce some stuff here coming down the pipe here in the next little bit, and we'll have some fun next year.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like there's a lot of people interested in Sauble. I hope that we can keep you guys can keep that mentality from last year. Very, very respectable field. Not a lot of contact out of there. A lot of respect back and forth between competitors. Brad Lavelle says, "Did you get some sleep, Phil? Did you get any?"
No, not really. Some jerk kept calling me in the middle of the night.
Oh well, Phil. You know what? Three times is a charm, but you know what sounds better is four. So hopefully we'll get to see you do this again next year, buddy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out how many the most someone's ever won. So I know Dougie Butler's up there. I would
Yeah.
I
We'll
just
find
I'd
out
like
tonight how much Doug's got, because I'm curious on that as well. I think especially when we got the late model guys, there's a couple that have won quite a bit. Sean Chenoweth's got to be up there as well, I think, with the amount he seems to win. But thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate you coming on, and congratulations on another Autumn Classic victory and the best in the off season.
Thanks, Cam. Much appreciated.
All right, that is our good buddy Phil Givens, winner once again in 2025. He won last year in at the Autumn Colors Classic by driving Matt Young's mini stock. Um, and I believe it was a non-winners race last year. And we're gonna bring on the most recent winner in the Ontario Bandoleros and quite possibly the 2025 champion um, for his debut on this show. Actually, we've not had Landon Sellers on here before, and we're gonna bring him on right now, and hopefully all the tech will work, and we'll see what this young racer has to say, because he's coming off of probably his best weekend, I would imagine, in his racing career. Landon, not too bad for you, win, and I believe you are the champion. It hasn't been formally announced, but um, how do you feel, man? That was a pretty great weekend.
I feel awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you went from, I don't want to bring this up, and I know because you and I have talked at the track before. I watched you finish second maybe like 9 times in the junior late models, and you made it to turn 3 on the last lap, and Lucas Finnegan passed you and I was in the booth for that. It crushed me to see it because you were so close. But then you come out this year and 2 feature wins in the Bandoleros, and you finally won at Autumn Colors for the second win and the championship, we believe. And I, I gotta ask, why? What's the difference? Are these cars just much easier to drive, or they're more for your style? Like, what is it?
They're more of my style. They got a
Yeah,
lot more stuff, a lot more harder to control.
yeah,
Suspension.
yeah. I mean, and you want your first win this season came at Sauble Speedway. Had you even seen Sauble Speedway before?
I've seen it on YouTube, but that's it.
Never actually raced it, and you got your first win there. No way.
Didn't even make practice.
It's even better. I mean, that's a cool thing. And I honestly, man, I was worried about you because your brother went through a pretty bad crash. You were right there. You ran to his aid, and if those that don't know, I mean, I think he he lost some digits in that wreck, but you went out and you won like the next what was I think it was like the next week or whatever
Yeah.
was Sobel and come away with 2 wins. Do you know what you're gonna do next year? Are you gonna be back doing Bandoleros? Gonna do something else, or still kind of up in the air?
Up in the air right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll get to see some more of you out of there because it looked like it was it looked like it was a lot of fun actually. And a lot of podiums this year. But going into this last race, you were not the points leader. You were
Oh,
second in points. And you just I don't know, man. You just seemed to have control as soon as the green flag went. You took off and left everybody behind and it looked like Peterborough Speedway you finally kind of you got I would say the monkey off your back, right? Like you finally won at the track that you finished second like for forever. Obviously this is a huge win for you. Obviously winning a championship is the first and the inaugural champion. Got to be huge. But what's it like also seeing your brother go out there and win a championship in the junior late models?
that was really cool because, I could never do it.
Well, and see, the funny thing is that you're kind of the more talkative one, and Hudson doesn't. I don't know if I've ever heard him speak 2 words, right? um, Honestly, Landon, it's really cool that you got this opportunity. I think the Bandoleros, you've raced them enough. You've raced the junior late models a lot. Would you say Bandoleros are more challenging, or they're an easier car to drive?
The 50-50, depending
Okay,
on is I
okay.
would say it's the hardest, and then Sobel.
Well, I mean that definitely was the case a couple of times we saw that you guys kind of had rough races. There was some accident, a lot of accidents. No mechanical problems though it looked like. I mean, for the most part, I think you said you missed practice once,
Yeah.
but that wasn't was that for a mechanical problem or was
Yeah.
that
I have a cylinder firing.
so one small mechanical problem the entire year? Talk about your competitors, man. Who's somebody that's out there that you think in the Bandoleros is going to be really tough to beat next year?
If Keegan stays in them, then yeah. I would, and so with Ava.
Yeah, I kind of see that as well. I think Ava definitely showed a lot towards the end of the year, and Keegan Moat had a good start to the year and just kind of tapered off. But I just want to say congratulations to you. I wasn't unfortunately able to be there, but it was one heck of a night for you and for your whole family after everything that you guys went through. That was awesome to see, and you made us proud, man. Stickers and scuffs on your car. There wasn't a ton on there, so people, if you want to get behind a good racer, this would be the one to get behind. Um, Landon, it's cool to see the guys that struggle to get the wins finally get them, and then to get something even bigger is awesome. And hopefully we'll get to see if there's a championship celebration. We get to get some confirmation if you are the champion or not. I want to see you with the trophy, man, because that better be a big one. But thank you so much for joining me tonight, bud.
You're welcome.
That is Landon Sellers, winner at the Autumn Colors Classic, winner at Sauble in the Ontario Bandoleros, and potentially the 2025 champion. So Landon, yeah, he's a great young racer. Really, man, I think the world of him. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's very studious, very quiet. Just like Hudson. Hudson, his brother, is even quieter than he is. But for them to come on the show and for him to come on and chat just for a little bit, it's not the coolest thing to do as a teenager to come on this show and chat with a goof like me. But I will say that that kid's got a future. I mean, he's extremely talented. And I mean, I remember meeting him a couple years ago and he seemed just focused, absolutely focused. And when he goes and when he drives, man, he is. And I know it was getting frustrating for him. Caden, yeah, definitely solid 3 years paid off. It was true though because I'm gonna have to go back and find the results. but I'm pretty sure it was something stupid like a not 8 to 9 second place finishers or something like that. It was he almost had I think it was in 24 he may have had 3 to 4 second place finishes in a row and just never was able to get the feature win in the junior lates, and then to see him go out, get 2 wins, potentially this championship. It's just the type of story that you want to see in motorsports. And speaking of wanting to see stories, Doug Butler, after what happened last year, if you weren't familiar with what happened, he and Sean Taylor coming to the checkered, well, it would have been close to the checkered flag last year. Some contact was made and he didn't get the win, but he did this year, and he's proudly displaying his flag. Not the leaf though. I'm a little surprised by that, Doug, but you did it. You got back to victory lane in the Autumn Colors Classic, and for a guy that doesn't get really too riled up when you win, you looked really, really, really excited last night. I don't think we can hear you, Doug. You're muted. Should be just a button that you got to press. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So, how excited were you to finally get back to victory lane? I believe I asked Randy, and she said she thinks it's since 2009. Is that correct?
Yeah, '09 was my last time I was able to seal the deal.
Jesus. 2009. I don't even tell you how old I was, but I will say I was graduating high school.
Well, 16 years ago, and I was actually talking to Ben Hodgson, and he was 1 year old.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Makes me feel old.
Well, you are, Doug. You are. I'll just rub that in just a little bit. But, the question was going to be, were you going to be able to hold off James Townsend? It kind of was playing out the same way as it did earlier for the 3-3. He seemed to start catching you right towards before that caution came out. And all I was thinking was, holy crap, not this again, because you went through that last year with a late caution, bunched the field up together. But you seem to just have the field covered this year. What made the difference?
Actually, I think the 3-on-3 race helped a lot this year.
Okay.
Taking some notes and having some experience around the track this year. 50 lap doesn't seem like a lot of experience, but I think it helped this year.
I mean, you got to experience that. We talked with you when you did that originally. First off, would you like to do something like that again with 3 races in 3 days? Or would you say maybe that's a little too much? And B, an kind of add like a points deal to that. Would that be something of interest if you did like a 3-3 next year?
Yeah, I'd strongly consider it.
Yeah.
That was a wild ride we did. The wife supported it all the way, so that's what kind of made my decision.
Well, I mean, I kind of was hoping that Randy would get out there with her car as well and do 3-3. That would have been awesome. But you were also we Sam Moore also brings up a great point about how nervous you were to get behind a junior late model again. How was that experience driving Jacob Vanderbilt's car?
That was an awesome experience, and I didn't realize how much beating those kids take in there. I wasn't even at Peterborough, I was at Sunset, and it was still rough. So being at Peterborough in a junior late, I was a little hesitant, but I was prepared for it. And Aaron's prepared a pretty good car that Jacob, he's doing an awesome job with that car too.
I love it more because I got to play a role in that, which I'm so happy about because that name was the person that I suggested was Doug Butler to Aaron, and it just so happened that you were his Jacob's favorite, so there you go. It worked out. And Ben mentions that he really wanted to see it happen on Friday. From your experience, is this something that we need to see happen at these end of the year races? Because I mean, people seem to really love it.
Oh yeah, it's something unique, and it's something that you're not hopping in a car of your own, and it's just for fun and see what you can do that something that's not even designed for you and just to make it work,
I, I I
and
love it. I love it. I mean, Randy says, yeah, she wanted to see it as well. I think Autumn Colors needs to have it next year. I would sacrifice one of the other divisions or one of the sets of heats to do it because it was really, really there was people turning in from Mexico to watch it. So
really, that's
really,
wild.
really, the Fords wanted to watch Chris Allard put a beating on you in this one. So, um, but I think it's great because you got personalities, and when they put it out on the Peterborough website, the amount of people that wanted to be a part of it, we had more interest than the amount of cars that we have. So that says a lot, and hopefully this gets into an opportunity where, hell, for all we know, these there's going to be more and more people that are come from other tracks just to be a part of it in the future. But you were able to get out there this weekend. You got yourself. What number of Autumn Colors victory is this for you?
For Autumn Colors, it's my second one. Just
It's your
'09, and
second one. Okay.
yeah.
So, because we were talking with Phil, and Phil was trying to figure out who has more than three victories, because he's got three now. He's trying to see if
Yeah.
there's somebody that has more. So we'll have to get to Ben Hodgson or Jim Clark would know that.
I think the Ulster horse, I think they dominated quite a few years there.
I would expect so. Sam Morrissey had 30 offers for his cars for racers to be a part of this. So that says a lot right there. I mean, I think you get a big partner behind it like Ilium Industries. I mean, they built the chassis, so that's a perfect fit in my opinion.
Yeah.
You were out there. The name of the game seemed to be it was a really clean start to the race. And then it just, man, lost, you and James are almost involved in a massive crash, and you both barely avoided Bobby Mercer. Um, Talk about that because he was literally sitting the worst direction you could see a car on the racetrack, and Dave Bragg didn't make it. He was right in the middle of that. But you went high, and James just clipped him and took the nose cone off. But talk about a Code Brown situation for yourself. You're in the lead when that happens. Talk about that experience.
Basically, when I was working on lap traffic, you just got to look ahead. I was
Yeah.
looking a half a track ahead of me, and I was looking at the guy that I was passing, and just keeping ahead, see, because people are going to do some weird things, and they're going to be impatient. And everybody was pretty patient for 41 green laps. I was actually impressed on that one.
It was insane.
And
I was insane, Doug, because I fully thought the mini stocks and the bone stocks would be an absolute chaotic mess. And it was actually more, it felt like the late models actually had way more cautions than you guys did. And you guys had to wait a long time to race. It was, I want to say after 8 o'clock. I think by the time you guys got out on the racetrack, you waited the entire weekend for that
yeah,
little bit of time.
I think it was like 6:30 or 7 because I was actually hesitant on the sun coming down because usually
Oh,
we
okay.
run right when the sun's in our vision going down the backstretch. I even put cardboard on my window just in case, but the sun went down during introduction, so it worked out perfect.
It was, I love the mini stocks. I think you guys put on a hell of a show. We don't really know what the plan is next year for Sunset Speedway, but we know that you've been somewhat of a regular out there. Um, for you guys next year, are we going to see very similar plans, doing a couple of races throughout the season and then the big races at the end of the year?
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't see me not doing that. Being sporadic, I'll hopefully travel more because the Peterborough guys are so welcoming. It's just a drive and a half for me.
Yeah.
And I hope Sobel, I hope they bring us back at least a couple nights. Go to Varney. Like I want to travel and experience all the different tracks and all the different people. Like mostly they're welcoming. So
And that's exactly it. And one that we do want to put out there, Gordon Tabitha, you were trying to get, and it just didn't happen because the Corn Cob Classic did not happen. But Grand Bend is something that we're going to try and work on. I know you were trying to get a mini stock invitational done out there. You had Matt Young and a couple other names that were going to go. and make it an actual event. So good on you guys for continuing it. But I want to give you one moment to shout out as well, because your loving wife has recently hung up her helmet. I don't think she should be giving it up right now, but I know she said she's done. So just talk about that for a minute, because I know Randy's been racing with you for quite a lot of years, and she's ready to kind of move on and focus solely on Ladies of the Oval.
Yeah, well, I met her at the racetrack. I met her at Barrie Speedway. So, it's been through and through, and I convinced her to get rid of her Mustang and build a 240, and she just excelled from there and grew her driving talent and her experience. But just the last few years, it's become a tire game. It's become a money game, and it's just so much time and money invested. It's just she doesn't have the passion for it anymore as what she did.
Mm-hmm.
She likes being around the atmosphere. She just doesn't have the passion to drive, where I still do have the passion to drive. I love being out there. That's my comfortability spot. That's where all my worries go away, and I'm having fun.
Well, you know what? We have a hell of a lot of fun watching you race, Doug, and we've had a lot of fun watching Randy out there. So the best in her professional driving retirement, but we'll know she'll be busy. Doug, congratulations. Best in the off season. Can't wait to see you back out at the track next year.
Thank you, Cam. I just want to actually contribute to this. Mainly was you that made this season happen for me. You convinced me to be an ambassador, or you didn't convince me, you asked me, and I fully accepted. And that's where it got the ball rolling about rebuilding the car and making it as good as it is. And I inquired other sponsors because of your podcast and because of the awareness and everything that went on. So I can't thank you guys enough for doing this.
Well, you know what? It's because of who you are and how you drive and how you conduct yourself on the racetrack. That's why you were a good fit. And seeing the names of the young kids that look up to you, it means a lot. And I think that you were definitely the right call for that. And I'm still never going to forgive Jacob Sutcliffe for ruining your back bumper. We had a beautiful decal back there. So he's dead to me. But thank you, Doug. Have a great off season, and we'll talk to you at the track next year.
Thank you for having me, Cam.
All right. So Doug Butler out Victory Lane once again. And talking about Victory Lane, man, holy. This one was... it was hard not to be emotional during actually, I can't lie. I was crying too, just with her. She got it done. Amanda Balson joins us now for the first time on ONTrack Weekly. It's been a chore to try and get our schedules to align because she's such a busy woman, but you did it. Amanda, you got out there and you explained kind of the situation afterwards, and you probably have given us the best showcase of sportsmanship this entire racing season. And the way that you posted that choked a lot of people up, I think, because I don't think they were expecting it. And yeah. Ben Hodgson says she had Charlie in tears in the booth, and you had a lot of people in tears. I had a couple myself, but that's kind of normal when I watch you win races. So how's it feel, Amanda, the day after?
I think the win has an asterisk beside it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I just because of the way it went down afterwards, it really does still feel like a win.
Yeah.
What happened? I think most people have read my post and you see what happened there. There was no malicious intent, and it wasn't. I can tell you this, though. I can tell you that it didn't win me the race. It did not win me the race. I wasn't even on the chip. We had made 3 gear selections or 3 gear changes throughout the weekend. When we had first arrived at the track, where it actually took us by surprise that our sunset gear was way too much. And I had, an awful practice session. I was on the chip at the flag stand. That was no good. Wally Wilson to the rescue, lends us a set of gears, and it ends up being way too low. So we qualified That's why qualifying was a little tough, and the car didn't look like it had any speed, even though it was really handling well. It just didn't have the speed, didn't have the jam off, running out. I just couldn't get off the corner. Not enough gear. And Kelly and I drove back to the shop Saturday morning. We went through. He actually wanted to make a gear change as well on the prolate, and we were, sifting through the gears, and we didn't have anything that was exactly what we wanted, but ended up borrowing gear from Tom Walters, and it just still wasn't. While it was right in the middle of what we had done, but it was just still not enough. So I wasn't banging off the chip anyway.
Yeah.
At one point, the tech did ask me, did I have a recall tack in the car? To check the recall and see what I was turning. I have neither a tack nor a recall tack. That car hasn't had a tack in it, a working tack, since I bought it. And with all the other things going on surrounding it, it was just something that we didn't, I don't even really need it anyway. So it wasn't something that was at the top of the list to fix. But no, I can tell you for sure, it didn't win me the race, and my fellow competitors fully agreed with that. Obviously, I can't listen. I'm not mad at Oscar. They have a rule book. They called these events special events.
Yep.
Which is also another name for an invitational.
Yeah.
It's a little disheartening that one of my fellow competitors had to go over and complain right after the feature or before the feature. Who knows when? I don't know when. I was told that it was, brought to their attention. It's a little shitty that somebody had to do that. Just knowing like that is what we had. That's what we have at Sunset. That is our rule at Sunset.
Yes.
But definitely I understand Oscar's point of view. I did go down and plead my case. Not going to lie to you, I knew within the first minute it wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I mean, I tried. I definitely tried to explain myself in a respectful manner, and it wasn't received the way that I wanted it to be, and that was fine. But then after that, I can't control the actions of others, and I walked over to Max. I shook his hand. I said, congratulations, you won. And he's like, what? And not going to go over our entire private conversation that we had, but he ultimately handed me the trophy and said, this is yours. This isn't mine. And I said, I listen, racing's racing, and I'm not going to take this from you. I don't know how well you know Max and Michelle Bior, but I wasn't leaving without the trophy. And I'm telling you, I tried to give it back. And one of the ladies on their crew was giving me chocolate chip cookies and giving me hugs and telling me that I did such a great job. And Max and Michelle were so complimentary. And I was just so blown away by what he was saying. And take it, go, you're the winner, take it. And he said, I think he said something along the lines of, what am I going to do? Go home and put it on my mantle and look at it and know that you kicked my ass. And he said, I want to race you next year, and I'll beat you on the track. And I kind of laughed. And so, I took the trophy. He wasn't going to give me a choice. I'm telling you that right now. And then right after that, it's like I found out that TJ Edwards had, I guess, felt the same way, and his team also was very complimentary of my drive, and they decided to go over and give Max their declared second place trophy. And I've never seen or heard of anything like that happening in racing ever. Those two men showed a level of sportsmanship that, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if I'm capable of. I don't know hardly anyone that's capable of that. So just absolutely blown away by the level of sportsmanship, the level of respect that they so very clearly have for me means so much. I cannot say enough about these two guys, and the internet shares that sentiment with me. I think out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments and posts and texts, and I swear to all of you, I've read every single one. It's so it's almost like I can't respond to them all. I don't even have enough time in the day, but I did read them all. out of the, I don't know, 400 or 500 things that I read, I think I read one like shitty comment from somebody I don't even know, so I could care less. But again, this is not, I'm not sitting here to punch Oscar in the face. They did their job, they do what they have to do. And I understand that. I've been racing for a long time. I understand that. I've been DQ'd before. I've been DQ'd unfairly. I've been DQ'd for things that, you know, being under on weight or over on left side, things that just sort of happen. These things
Yeah.
kind of happen. Hey, listen, I've also been DQ'd where I haven't even done anything wrong. So, I mean, you know, this is, you know, it's part of the sport. I understand their stance. Like I totally get it, but neither myself nor them could control what happened after that. And this is not like, I'm not smacking them in the face by saying that I won the Autumn Colors Classic, but when the two guys that finished behind me on the track tell me, yeah, I did, and Max Bior gave me his blessing to give myself that title. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it because he knows, and TJ knows, and I know, and lots of other people know that. Yeah, again, if I was banging off the chip, yeah, maybe then,
Yep.
yeah, okay, I would say, yeah, maybe it did help me. But the fact of the matter is, I wasn't hitting the chip at all. That's why I blew corner one twice in 50 laps, because once you get into a groove, especially somewhere at Peterborough, and I have a long green run like that, you know, sometimes it's really great to have that chip at the end of the straightaway to just, even if it's like ta-ta, just to give you that reminder, like, oh, okay, it's time, you know, because you can really, you're in a groove, and it's really easy, especially at Peterborough. It's because you're carrying so much speed. It's really easy to just miss by a little teeny wee bit and blow that corner. And I did that twice. And if I was banging off the chip, that wouldn't happen.
Well, you had moments where you had to hold off TJ and Max both in this race, but it seemed like, again, it was more about where they couldn't get you based off of corner. That seemed to be, especially off of two. TJ could not seem to get off of two. He kept getting, I guess it was clipping the grass or something, and it kept wiggling him loose. So they tried, but they couldn't get around, and that's where I was like, I said to somebody that I'm like, this is determined Amanda. This is like, she's not letting this go. And we've got some comments, so I want to make sure that we point this out because I've made it a big presence, and I love sharing your stuff because you are such a role model for so many young women and ladies getting into this sport, especially now working with Randy at Ladies of the Oval. It's so important that we have role models like you. Marley, she had a third place after taking the whole season off.
Yeah, Marley and I were having a great chat last night by the fire. We chatted for about an hour, and yeah, like I said, not always the details of private conversations need to be put on the internet, but we had a good chat. Marley is she's a heck of a wheel girl, and yeah, she's such a sweetheart. Love
and
her.
Randy says right now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I want to be Amanda Balson when I grow up. Amanda, you are amazing, and so many girls and ladies look up to you. Susie Q says you did amazing and handled it like the amazing lady you are off and on the track. Crystal Chase, she did a good run and she won the race. I didn't hear the car hitting the rev. They were in your rear most of the race anyways. And that's exactly what I saw. You know, in this, you got to be there, and the first person who comes to see you is Kelly. And
actually, it was Wally.
Oh, sorry, it was Wally. It was Wally. So Wally one-upped Kelly. He's stolen his modified, and he got to see.
In there.
And he stole the opportunity right after. But you mentioned him earlier. You and him have had such a great back and forth. You two work like racing together, just so much respect. He battled you for the championship this year. He won it. You've seen him come from when Kelly was racing the mods, when he was going laps down early in these races.
Wally's definitely come a long way. He's definitely a fierce competitor, even though I don't think he thinks he is sometimes. I think he downplays just how talented he is. I mean, everybody has to start somewhere. I know he had a rough road at the start, but he's a hell of a guy. He's a hell of a wheelman. I'm very proud of him. I'm proud to call him a friend. That whole
Yeah.
team is very respectful, and yeah, I love all the guys in the modifieds. Like they're really really good people to race with. Like I've had a lot of fun. I've made some new friends, and yeah, it's been really really great. I hope it continues.
I think everybody here wants to see it continue. Yeah, it was. Remember, yes, Crystal does mention that TJ was getting a couple black flag warnings from bumping at the rear, and they still couldn't get by. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it's.
I watched the race today, you know, when we got home,
Mhm.
and like TJ was doing everything he could do. He was driving the wheels off it. If I was in his position, I'd be doing the exact same thing. I'm
Yeah,
certainly not offended by getting the bumper a few times here and there, especially in modifieds.
yeah.
No, I thought it was cool. I certainly knew he was there, and I just tried to keep my cool. I just kept trying to turn laps, and Kelly was telling me, just keep doing what you're doing. You know, he's driving in hard. He's trying to get you. He's clipping the curb. He's doing everything you do. I've been in that position before too at Peterborough Speedway. You do all you can do, and sometimes you just turn it in a little too deep and you clip that curb. And sometimes it can help you, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, no, I mean that was like really good hard racing, and you know me, Cam, I love that.
Oh yeah. I
Love
think
it.
all of us were going, this is what made the hot rods last year so damn good, was the battle that you and Tom would have every week. Matt Bray, who saw it from the best vantage point, says it was a hell of a race, that's for sure. I agree. I mean, I think it can go down where you don't need 50 cars to have a good race. You don't. You need basically 2 cars to have a good race. I'd like to see a lot more, I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
Amanda, you've been in the modifieds this year. It did not start off great, as you mentioned in your post race. And Morgan Moore, who's unfortunately not going to be our next guest, she's not able to make up, but she did want to say how proud of you she is, and
Oh,
you know that's what it is. It's about the kids, man. And I said it before, when Willow Barberstock almost made the B main in her photo finish, when Marley's out there, when you're out there, the ladies get the reactions from the crowd. You just no louder fan experience than when the ladies are out there and doing their thing. And you know what? You've been doing this for, as you mentioned, 27 years. And this was the one that I remember our exchange. And I had to post it last night because I remember us going back and forth and you saying how much this meant to you. And you said it right in the interview. And I can feel my tears coming right here, because when you go back and forth with racers, it's different as a fan because you don't get that real experience. You don't know how much something means until they describe it to you. And every person that watched it and saw and heard and listened to you felt what that meant. 27 years of trying. It's like the Dale Earnhardt side of things,
yeah.
20, except it's 7 more years.
Yeah.
So you've got that relief. Yes, you say it's got an asterisk in your mind, but I think everybody knows that was your race to win. What would you say about the modifieds? Because we want to get people to race. We want people to join you guys out there. So what do you like about them?
I mean, I love the speed of them. And this is the fastest car I've ever raced. And I love the speed. It's just something different for me. Like for me, I've always wanted to just kind of touch on a little bit of everything throughout my career before I'm done. Which I don't, who
Which
knows
is
when
going
that
to
will.
be never. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't know. In a few weeks here, I'm officially a little closer to 50 than 40. So I
Oh,
don't
you're
know.
still winning races. I'd say if you're not winning races, then I do want to see you and Kelly go straight up in a race, though. I do want to
That's
see
never
that.
gonna happen. I don't
No?
think that's ever gonna happen.
You told me
I don't
before
think
that Kelly
so.
would beat you. I'm not so sure.
Probably. No, probably. Probably. No, I mean, listen, the modifieds they're not cheap either. You know,
Okay.
they're expensive. One of the more expensive classes. So you know, I think this year the most we had at Sunset one night was 12. I think
Yeah.
Oscar had 12 or 13 for a few of their events. Considering, you know, the economic climate, it's not even really that bad. I know there are a few modifieds like sitting around.
Yep.
I was a little bit disappointed at the car count at the Classic. I thought more guys would show up, but like, listen, everyone has their reasons.
Yeah.
Everyone has, other things going on, or financial reasons, or whatever the reasons are, and that's okay. This is, it's just a hobby, right? But I hope next year that, we can try and strengthen the field to somewhere to 12 to 15, wherever that may be. I don't even know yet.
Yeah.
I if nothing happens at Sunset, and there really only is one option for us, and that's Oscar. I mean,
Yep.
I know Delaware runs modifieds as well, but that's a very, very far haul for us, and it's on Friday nights. It makes it
Yeah.
very difficult for work and such, and it's just maybe once in a while it may be a possibility, but certainly on a weekly basis, that just wouldn't be something that would work for us.
Amanda, we had an extended interview because I wanted to chat more with you about this, and I've been trying to get you on the show because the crowd that's watching shows why. People love you, and I love you, and I'm sad I wasn't there because I'd be
Thank you.
beating Kelly to hug you, frankly. But you know what? Like I said, congratulations. I know there's so many people here that wish you that and the best off season, and we'll have you on likely before the start of the new year because we always like to chat with you.
Sounds good.
That's Amanda Balson. Thank you so much, Amanda, and we'll have Sam Moore on right now, and Sam's coming off of what was the first official season for the Ontario Bandoleros, and then of course pulling double duty because he's had the junior late model going as well, and then of course with all the charity events that they do, he's a busy man. And did you sign up for this, Sam? Did you sign up for the season that you had?
No. If anyone told me it was going to be like this with two cars, I would have said, take the second car and shove it. But it's been a lot of fun. Like, what can I say? Morgan and Keegan, I wouldn't want any other kids in my cars right now, to be honest with you, especially my daughter. But, and first and foremost, I just want to thank everyone for the comments and phone calls, text messages that I've received from Saturday. Morgan is fine. She's got a couple of bruises on her. She had a hell of a lick there on Saturday night.
Yes.
Braden's dad has reached out to me. We've been in contact with them, and the reality is we're dealing with race cars, and
Yeah.
even though they're kids, we're at speeds that most people can't drive on the highway, and they can get hurt.
Yeah.
But everyone's okay, and we're okay with that. So thank
Well,
you for everyone for their well wishes. So
she does do a good job at making me worry. I'll say that. I can't imagine what you and Laurel went through. Frankly, because it wasn't while we were watching. It wasn't actually mentioned because she continued driving into turn 3, and they had said, "Oh, now there's something happening in turn 3," and
yeah,
no one knew what was going on in the broadcast. So scary,
well,
I would imagine.
her brake pedal was right to the front bar, so she couldn't stop anymore. That's why she traveled that far through. But the right front of the car is in rough shape. But that was Saturday, and we move on till next year. So
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, I know that you've got some big plans. Obviously, you guys were a part of the first season, first official season for the Ontario Bandoleros. You had Keegan Mode
yeah,
in the
yeah,
Bandolero this year, unveiled at Motorama, beautiful looking car, and we talked about this before. I felt a real transition, a real maturation of Keegan in the off season once he joined your organization. It seemed like something clicked for him, and he just started off really, really good this year. Started off with double feature wins at Sunset. It kind of seemed to tail off a little bit as the competition started to get tougher.
yeah.
And they kind of fell out of it, but he's still, I believe it's not been officially posted yet. I think he would be second to third in points.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this season? And are we going to see shenanigans next year in the Bandoleros?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. If as long as Keegan wants to drive the car, I'll put him in the car. Like you said, he has really matured this year. He's out of the official 6 races at Sunset because they were all double features. We
Right.
won 3 of them. So we got half of them down there, which is fantastic. And that's our home track. We had
Yeah.
a bit of an advantage there. We've had some serious mechanical gremlins with that car after the hit in Peterborough that we took. I think it was on the second race that we were there or something.
Yeah.
And we've been fighting battles with that all year long. That's all on me. I've done everything I can do to help that car, and unfortunately, this year or this past weekend, sorry, I just chose the wrong gear. And congratulations to Landon Sellers. Austin Seabrun put a hell of a run on us all year long. It's so bad to see him go out with a mechanical issue like he did in the final race. But the entire field, Ava Bounty,
Yeah.
Lila Sigma, like all of these kids have stepped up. They are incredible. They're running 16 ones this
Yeah.
weekend. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. And I couldn't be happier for what our program has done this year, not only in the Bandoleros, but the junior late, Morgan being able to get into a heat race herself, cracking 19.4s. We had some serious help from Todd Davenport, um, Darren Warren. You mentioned Ilium
Yep.
Industries there earlier and stuff like. We've had some serious help from some serious hitters. Corey McAllister's been behind us all year long. And it's to have that amount of support where I am is humbling for sure because there's some big names in this entertainment business that we deal with, and I'm proud to say that a lot of people know who we are. So
It's so very true. I love your team so much. You're so welcoming. You guys have great kids. Um, Keegan, obviously, like I said, a complete turnaround. I think he's again, maturity is everything, and sportsmanship is everything. He's one of the nominees for our Scuffy Awards for sportsmanship. He was nominated by a parent of another driver, and that says a lot with how he's carrying himself. And then you have your daughter who finally got that heat win. She's gotten one at Peterborough before, but
yeah.
this is home turf, and I said it before. I think Morgan gets a bad rap because she's against some of the so literally some of the best junior late racers that the province has seen. Like Josh Davenport was undefeated. Okay, that's
Two-time champion.
two-time champion at 2 different tracks 2 years in a row. That's not very fair to go up against that. He's a great kid, very fast, but that's obviously very tough. Morgan, I think I saw a change in her this year. So the same thing with Maya Ford. I think the girls are getting sick of the boys winning, clearly, and she really turned up her lap speeds because she looks way more comfortable out there. How do you think that she's adapted this year?
We talked about it on the way home yesterday from Peterborough, actually, and
Yep.
we talked about the fact that she's run against Josh Davenport. Josh has beat her 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Jake Spencer Walt beat her the first year.
Yep.
Keegan beat her the year before that.
And then you had
She
Cole
is
Camerath would come in for a couple
Cole
races.
Camerath,
Yeah,
Carter
Caleb
Camerath is on fire.
Caleb and
Rylan,
Wyatt, like these kids that literally have won so many of these races.
That's right. And we talked about it at Velocity, about the fact that I think she finished sixth or something
Yeah.
in the last race. And
Yeah.
I'm like, Morgan, you're six out of the best cars in Ontario.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And she kind of sat back a little back and she's like, I'm doing okay, Dad. I'm like, you're doing
Yeah.
fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
her growth this year has been incredible. She's been able to adapt. We got a new chassis this year with an Ilium chassis. Darren has really helped us with not only just me setting the car up, but talking to Morgan and letting her understand how the car is going to work.
Yeah.
And she gets that. It's different when I tell her, do this and it'll do that.
Yes.
But when somebody else says, hey, if you do this, it'll do that. And
Yeah.
she's been really able to grasp that this year. She's been able to come into the pits and tell me and my team, which worked their butts off on both of these cars all year long, to say, hey, I need a little more of this, or I need less of that, or whatever. And that feedback this year has been something that is incredible. And that's her growth. That's not my growth. That's all on her. So,
And she's got comments coming in here right now saying Morgan matured. This is from Adam Long. Morgan matured a lot throughout the season. Unbelievable, 100%. Matt Bray said, and this is Matt Bray would know, being up in the flag stand, that she did amazing all year. And I concur. I mean, I know people look at it and always go, well, there's no wins, or it's not this, it's not that. But I look at that and go, I think her and Ronnie are a very good comparison. I think that they're very similar in the way that they race. And they're
and Landon Strike, like
and
Landon
Landon
Strike
Struck. Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
right there as well, you know, like
Yep.
those three guys went into championship night. They were separated by 2 points between the three of them. Ronnie and Morgan were tied. Landon was ahead by 2.
Yeah.
Because of the way the heat races fell, Morgan won hers, Ronnie won his, and Landon fell back to 4th. They were tied coming into the feature
And
for
that's
championship night.
That's where I look at this and go, if you take, and I don't want to say this because I don't want to discredit what Josh did, but if you take out Josh in those circumstances, that championship battle between those three would have been flipping
Right to the wire.
amazing. It would have been
Right to the wire.
amazing right to the end, because I think it was one position on the track
One
to
position on
decide
the
it.
track.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ronnie finished one position in front of us.
And that came right down, if I'm not mistaken, to like the final laps. And I mean, this is where people take it and go, oh, it's junior late model racing, it's not fun. If you watch and pay attention, it is, because we get to see, I mean, through SNS, I've got to see these kids. Morgan joined us last year after she had a big wreck, at the start of last year. So it was the year before, 23. And I remember listening to Track Tune and Brendan kind of announcing what had happened, and she had backed into the wall and had hit pretty significantly. And then Ladies of the Oval, Randy had posted that she was, popped her up and she was good. And I see very similar behaviors that some of these kids now are doing the same. Now, Namaya had her big wreck, and I felt really bad because, it's an injury, but she did exactly the same thing that Morgan did, pop right up and be like, I'm fine, I'm good. I think those two girls together next, if it's running at Sunset, awesome. Hopefully we'll see some junior late model racing. If it doesn't, though, is there plans to go to, say, a Peterborough, or is there maybe a Bandolero plan, or everything's just in question until you kind of find out what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Bandolero is a go for sure next year.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to see Sunset continue.
Yes, we do.
We live 10 minutes away from the Speedway for us, so it makes perfect sense. As far as touring with Morgan on a weekly basis in a junior late, it's not feasible for us.
Yep.
Her dance schedule is already conflicting enough at the beginning of the year. So for us to go 2.5 hours one way and 2.5 hours back, it just doesn't work for us. Is there an opportunity for her to get into a bando? Yeah, it's there. It's up to her. We may be able to get her out for a couple of practice sessions first, obviously, to see. That was the goal in mind when I bought the Bandolero was, that we could get Keegan in it. That would give us a couple of years of experience to learn how to work on the thing, fix it. And we've done a lot of that before we could put Morgan into it. And we'll go from there. But I do have to say, junior lates, we did do a waffle today.
Yep.
And I got to thank everyone for participating in it and stuff like that. So we gave away Morgan's original car, and a young man, Emerson, turned 4 years old today, is the proud owner of a junior late model. And I sent you a picture earlier.
Yeah.
He's already won at Sunset Speedway in the Power Wheels, got a Mohawk helmet, and we can't wait to get him in the car. So as soon as he's ready to roll, Shenanigans will give him a hand to sort him out as well, the same as the help that we've got along the way. And we'll just pass the torch down. So.
Absolutely love that. It is exactly what racing is supposed to be about. You guys set the bar for how you should be treating your partners, how you should be promoting your partners, promoting your community. I mean, Morgan once again, and Shenanigans as a whole, instead of just Morgan this year, it's actually her and Keegan are nominated as one of our community outreach and partner. It's actually changed. It was community outreach only last year, which Morgan took the Scuffy Award last year for her and Keaton Pipe. But this year we've changed it because of what you guys also do for your partners. And it really meant a lot to see what you guys do on a weekly basis. You promote them like no one's business. It is so important what you guys do, and you showcase as a small junior late team that is turned into a bando team that maybe eventually we're turned into something bigger than that. You know, it is so important that you go out there, you got giveaways, you do contests, you tag all of your partners, which is like a list of like 20 companies like that every week. It's so important. I was having this conversation actually with someone earlier today about how, you know, racers just do not do enough for their partners. And it's refreshing to see what you guys do. You guys have some big ass brands on your car, really well-known companies. That's a lot. And it shows that the efforts go a long way. And, you know, we love Morgan, we love you, we love Keegan. You know, obviously you guys put together a huge program this year. And one of my highlights for you this year was finally getting to see you strap in behind the wheel. And I gotta know, Sammy, how was it, bud? Was it everything you wished?
You know what? Chris Allard and Corey McAllister set that deal up for me at Velocity for the first timers race. And Chris let me practice the car a couple of weeks, maybe the weekend before. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was the Wednesday night actually before.
Yes, it was.
And you know, Chris, it was just me on the track, and I pulled over and at the pit exit there, and he's like, "Keep going, you're doing all right." I'm like, "Am I?" And he's like, "You're doing fine, bud." So to get out there in the first timers race, like I had a blast, and we blew a tire coming into turn one. I got squashed in the middle there, and the right front went down right away. And I'll never forget Morgan. She said, "Dad, I'm disappointed." And I'm like, "Why?" And she says, "Because if I had a flat tire, you would have said kept going." So, but it was a blast. I don't plan on pulling out a helmet anytime soon to compete in anything. I had a lot of fun, and I can't thank, like I said, Chris Allard and Corey McAllister for setting that deal up. Sandra and Brian Todish for allowing that to happen at the track and stuff. It was a lot of fun, and your dad actually took a picture that's it's going to be a big 8x10 on my wall of Morgan strapping me in there, and that was probably.
Are you sure that was probably? Are you sure that was my dad?
Well, it came from one of you guys. I'm not sure, but
that was this guy. I was lucky enough to see that.
That was a pretty good picture, and I'm pretty proud of that. So
I was gonna ask, what did she think about you getting behind the wheel? Was she as excited or was she nervous?
She was nervous for me, gave me a couple of pointers before I went out. And like I said, disappointed because I pulled off because I got a flat tire and stuff like that. But I was so when I went into the drivers meeting for the final dance there, and I got to stand beside my daughter as a driver and a dad, and you know, I made her take pictures with me and stuff. She's like, "Dad, stay away from me. I can't be seen with a bone stalker and stuff like this." Like it was so fun. We had so much fun with it, and I'm so happy that we were able to do it. My wife she said, if you want to pull Morgan out and get your own car, you can do that. But we'll see what happens. I'd rather see my kid drive around. Although after last Saturday, I'm not sure about that anymore. But
Yeah.
but going back to the partners and stuff like that, we've had incredible support throughout the last 4 years with Morgan and now Keegan in this car. Big companies, like you said, Napoleon, DeWalt, Two Speed Motorsports, Homeland Auto Service, Classic Car Wash, Stickers and Scuffs have been part of us for, a few years now. Ladies of the Oval, everything that you guys do for us, we're so happy. Epic Racewear, like, oh my God, to be an ambassador for them this year. And Kendra put us through the ropes, so you got to do this and you got to do this. And we tried to do the best that we could for everyone that is on our car, and we hope we made you all proud. That's all we can say. So
I can say for damn sure that you did, and we're glad that you're going to be back next year because you don't got a choice, frankly.
no choice.
You're part of our family for a reason. Like I said, seeing those kids, seeing Morgan grow up from kind of she was very timid when we did our first interview, and now she walks in with some sass and some kind of toot. She's got this personality, and the
Oh
one thing
man,
I
it's like,
think,
dude,
yeah,
let me talk. I'm busy right now.
the one thing I will say that people might not realize, and if you guys go back to Stickers and Scuffs, we did our shop tour at Shenanigans. Oh geez, it would be like
Yeah. Two
maybe
years ago.
2 years ago in
Yeah,
the
2
winter
years
time.
ago.
We first
Yeah.
met her, and
Ref's Pizza all the way, bud.
Rest Pizza all the way, man. Still remember those was that Parmesan
Garlic pucks.
garlic pucks, yeah. I still remember that. And the one thing people might not think about for the younger racers is the interview skills. And it's so important to do it and get them used to it. That's why I really like what Grand Bend does by doing interviews every week with their racers,
Yeah.
no matter the age. And Morgan is hilarious. She has got
she
a
is.
very dry sense of humor.
Oh, yes, she does.
And she is hilarious. So I encourage people to go back and watch it on our channel because some of the answers that she gave then, amazing. And every time we see her, she's got a smile on her face no matter what. And she's always just so happy to just be there. And we're such a big supporter of you and everything that you guys do. And I do want to point out as well that we got actually brought your name a couple of times.
My name.
Your name and your entire team.
The police looking for me again?
we got mentioned. You got mentioned several times for being so welcoming to people that were visiting in the junior late models this year. Offering your help and assistance to some new competitors at the track. And that is the definition of what SNS is helping your fellow racers, helping the new kind of racers come in and be a part of things. And it was specific. The first name that I had said to go to was Sam Moore. And the first name people told me that they went to, that they didn't actually go to, that you came to them, was yourself and your team. That sets the precedent. That's what we want in motorsports. We don't want to see some of the other crap that we've been seeing. We want to see that sportsmanship. So on behalf of SNS and our fellow competitors, thank you for treating our racers the way that you have. It means the world to me. It makes us know that we have the right people representing our brand. And I can't wait to see more from next year for you guys, and hopefully a Bandolero championship and a junior late championship if we can be so lucky, Sam. But thank you so much, and we'll have to definitely do a catch up at some point on the off season.
All right, Cam. Well, I'm humbled by what you just said to me, but I appreciate everyone in that pit area, everywhere we go, whether we need help or someone else needs help. I'm telling you, the junior late dads, families are the best that I have seen. Like we've jumped on cars to get them out there and stuff like that, and to be a part of that family is absolutely incredible. And they treat my kids, I'm saying Keegan as well, the same way. And what you guys do for us, we can't appreciate you enough. So thank you so much.
I'm still
Thanksgiving
get,
to everyone.
I'm
So
still getting comments here talking about. You can vouch as well. Sam is amazing and one of the most welcoming man in the pits from Adam Long. So absolutely, I agree. But we've gone over the time, of course, Sam, because you and I
yes,
we can
sir.
talk for
Yes,
hours. So
sir.
have a
Happy
great night.
Thanksgiving,
Have an off
everyone.
season. Happy Thanksgiving,
Yes.
Sam, and we will chat with you in the off season.
Cheers, everybody.
Sam Moore from Shenanigans Motorsports here on ONTrack Weekly. Thanks everybody. Great show. We've had a good amount of people that have tuned in for the full amount. We don't typically go this late after the show. We went a whole 15 minutes past what we normally would, but you know what? We're gonna look towards maybe a bit of a break. I'm looking at maybe taking a week off, just to kind of recharge and get ready for a full off season of ONTrack Weekly here on G4 TV. Of course, make sure you stay tuned for Race Rivals Race Chat this week. You also have a new podcast on G4 TV. So for those that aren't familiar, of course, with G-Force, we've had a couple, a couple of shows for the last couple of years, but the new one, Give Me the Dirt with Nikki, that comes on. Great reviews. Episode 2 was already up from last week. There'll be another new episode. She had Laura Fitzpatrick on her show previously, so definitely go and check that out. And from everybody here at G-Force, I want to say thank you for a great season. Thank you for everybody at G4, Spencer, Clinton, Adam, Mackenzie, Jack, for everybody that put on, Greg, for everybody in the truck that puts on the weekly broadcast of the Schweik Speedway, all those that did all the APC broadcasts, and of course this past weekend at ACC. You guys are the best in the business. I want to help continue to build this business, help continue to build G-Force TV into the future, and we're going to do that by having ONTrack Weekly every week. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all here on ONTrack Weekly